Hi, welcome to the video where we'll look at a project purpose. This is the first real step taken for a project. Nothing else can be done really on a project until you have established the purpose and some other key items we'll discover soon. So every project generally starts life by trying to solve a problem. There is always a why behind every project, a reason why the project exists in the first place. Let's look at some examples. Why does a property developer build a particular development? Because there is a demand for it and the developer is there to make a profit. Why does a university build a new building? To expand or update its teaching or research facilities. Why does a government department launch an educational program? To meet a specific educational outcome that they aren't already meeting. What about a charity organisation running international development and aid projects? Likely it is to help developing countries with better health or infrastructure. Why would Boeing or Airbus develop a new plane? Surely the existing ones work fine and are good enough? Because technology changes and a new plane will hopefully be more profitable. Why does the Melbourne City Council run a project every Christmas for a light display? Because it is trying to make Melbourne a fun and safe place for people to live. So as you can see, there are many varied reasons why a project starts. A project without a reason behind it sometimes may not even finish. Once we've discovered the why, i.e. the original problem, we can then work out how the project will solve that problem. This is the how part of the equation. Hopefully, the how, the project, will lead to a final outcome. This final outcome is the desired change. So long-term profitability, increased sales, smarter children, a healthier population, these are all desired outcomes that projects could deliver. Alongside the outcome, a project will also have outputs and deliverables. The project outputs are normally tangible products that, when they're all created, will hopefully bring about the outcome. If you have trouble remembering what the difference is between output and outcome, try thinking that outcome has a C in it for change and output has a P in it for a product. Deliverables are items or components of an output that the project must deliver. Deliverables are quite important as they are often formally or legally defined. If deliverables aren't delivered, then it could be said that the project is either unfinished or even worse, a failed project. Deliverables will be talked about often throughout the whole course. These three things, the outcome, outputs, and deliverables, are often seen together as a high-level scope. In fact, they're so important that they are one of the first sections in your first major assignment. It's also common for a project to have well-defined success criteria. Ask yourself a question. How do you define the successful completion of a project? Not the finishing of a project, but the successful finish. For example, RMIT builds a new building with the desired outcome of world-class teaching facilities, so new lecture theatres and that sort of thing. The building gets built, so the project finishes, but does that mean it's a success? What if the lecture theatres are awful? What if they're too small? Is the project still a success? Probably not. So the answer to that question? It's whatever measurable way makes sense. New lecture theatres? Maybe it's about how much the lecture theatres get used in the following year. Maybe RMIT asks the students whether they like the new facilities. The success criteria, and there would often be a few different criteria for every project, could also include performance on things like cost, time, safety, and quality. Often those criteria are longer term and are measured after the project is finished. So the feedback from students on a new lecture room is an example of a longer term success criteria. Not every project will have defined success criteria though. Smaller projects will just use the outcome, output, and deliverables to measure their success. So before this video finishes, ask yourself the following questions. I encourage you to press pause after each question and take a few minutes to think and write down your answers. So question 1. Explain what is meant by the term project outcome. Question 2. What are the three main items in a high-level scope? Question 3. And with those three main items, how do they relate to each other? How are they different? The aim here is not for you to just memorize a few words and their definitions, but to be able to explain in your own words what those concepts are and how they work together for a project. So that's it for this topic. I'll see you in the next video, which is on Who's Who in the Zoo, where we will look at the key players involved in a typical project.